Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing, and community every weekday. We've been doing so since March 18th, 2020. Today is August 6th, 2025. That's 5.5 years of Torah every single weekday morning, finding each other from across the world to say good morning. Lydia and Jen, it's good to see you. Tony and Kate. Penny, thank you, my friend. It's broadcast 1361. Michael and John, Tara and Kim, good to see you. Susie, sending love to Toronto. Good to see everybody. Linda, sending love to Florida. Rosa, sending love to Malta. Debbie, sending love to Colorado. Good to see all of you. Jerry and Barbara, Amy and Debbie, Karen, good to see everybody. Hope that you and yours are safe and well. Ivy, sending love. Karen and Barry, Andrew, Boker Tov, good morning, friends. Let's see how a few more friends are. Of course, when I start the broadcast. Let's see how a few more people are doing, and then we will get started with some learning for the day. Stanley, nice to see you, my friend, waving over to your block. Judy and Cecile, Arlene and Adrian, Ron and Lisa, Arlene, Deborah and Janice, Boker Tov, sending love all around. Bensi, Michael, nice to see you too. Hi, Susan. Susan, you're sharing that your husband, you said, has a serious parasite and it's very scary. We are sending you strength and healing, my friend. A lot of love to you and yours. Thank you for the bless you, everybody. Let's take a breath. Oh, Jack, thank you for sharing this. Jack, today is your father's yahrzeit. May his memory be for a blessing. Today's Torah is dedicated in his honor and his memory. Okay. Let's take a breath, sing a bracha, learn some Torah. All right, everybody, Boker Tov, good morning. It's broadcast 1361. It is day 670 since October 7th. I hope that you and yours are safe and well. Let's look at the Torah for a little bit of guidance today. Parshat VaEtchanan, the second Torah portion in the book of Deuteronomy, is named for one of the first words that appears in the first verses, VaEtchanan. Moses is telling the story of his life. Of course, he's also telling the story of our people's life. And it's through the filter of his emotions at the end of his life. And all he wants is to see the promised land. VaEtchanan el Adonai ba'etahi lemor. And I begged of God in that moment. And of course, what was he begging? He was begging to be able to see the fulfillment of his life's mission, to step foot into the promised land. And according to the rabbis, according to Midrash, he was willing to even be a rock, a stone, in the promised land. Just let me be there. He was willing to be Joshua, who's his successor. He was willing to be Joshua's student. That didn't work. He was willing to be an animal. That didn't work. A rock. That didn't work. Now, none of that actually appears in the Torah, but it tells you that the rabbis have a sense, as should we, about how desperate Moshe was just to see what the promised land would be like for his people. There's a section that happens immediately after this request, after this beseeching of God, that has struck many readers as cruel. I'd like to look at it and make a suggestion that we don't have to see it as cruelty, that we could see it as a blessing, one that could be useful for us. This is chapter 3, verse 26, and moving forward a little bit. Vayomer Adonai Elai, God said to me, Rav lach, al tosef daber elai od badavar hazeh. Enough, don't talk to me about this anymore. So Moshe has asked in a deeply emotional way, please, please, please. And God says no, and don't talk to me anymore about this. And then comes this section. Go up to the summit of Pisgah, says God to Moshe, in Moshe's telling, and gaze about to the west, to the north, to the south, and the east. Look at it well, for you shall not go across yonder Jordan. Give Joshua his instructions and imbue him with strength and courage, for he shall go across at the head of this people, and he shall allot to them the land that you may only see. Now, this is a translation, and all translation is interpretation. But this language is hard for us to grapple with because it feels like God is saying, no, you can't, and now go look at what you can't have. That's what it feels like. And what's very intense about that is we have such sympathy, and should, for Moshe Rabbeinu. He should have been able to see his life's mission fulfilled. But of course, that's really not how things go, is it? That's not how life lends itself. It's not how things unfold. So often, if a mission matters, it takes more than one lifetime to accomplish. We know this is true, especially given the long lineage of Jewish history, from all its different origin points, all of those origin points originally being one, but then the diaspora giving us very hard experiences, be it in Baghdad or Cairo or Warsaw or New York. It is very clear that life is too short to see the important goals fulfilled most of the time. So there's another way of reading these verses. It doesn't have to be the way that you read them. Part of the power of Torah is that it means more than one person's opinion, no matter how learned they may be. As Emmanuel Levinas said, what makes Torah holy is not where it comes from, but its infinite possible meanings. So feel free not just to disagree, but to be angry about this text. But I wanted to offer a perspective that could be comforting, maybe even provide some guidance for us. Moshe wasn't going to make it to the Promised Land. And knowing that he wasn't going to make it to the Promised Land, how interesting then to think about God giving him a glimpse of it and saying, look at it well, you're not going to be there, so take it in. There will be a future for your people. Isn't that an amazing moment to consider from that perspective? I won't live longer than I live. May I live a long and healthy life. And one of the big worries from a place of just being human, it's part of what it is to be a living thing, is to want your species or your family to live beyond, to be okay. What greater desire, speaking for me, does a parent have? And on the level of Jewish tradition and the beauty of our heritage, I just want it to work. I want Judaism to thrive and be alive. So many of us, and thank God for how many of us it is, we dedicate our lives to bringing forward deep truths and strengths and adaptive capacities on behalf of the Jewish community because it has to live beyond us. How beautiful it is to be able to see forward beyond the self, to say to myself, for you to say to yourself, this life's path that I am on, it will last far beyond my lifetime. And in this moment, Moshe knows he's not going to make it into the land. And so I would suggest that another way of seeing the text is that God gives him the ability to see that there will be a future. That's no small thing. There will be a future, a beautiful future full of promise. Moshe, you're not going to make it there, but I'll let you see it. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't it beautiful to know that what matters will live beyond me? Valerie, as you said, our dedication. And Rosa, as you wrote, to see it from a distance was to know he had completed his task. Does that mean, by the way, that we're going to get it right? Of course not. He knows, and this might be of strange comfort too, that he had a hard time with us, and so will whoever's in charge next. But that also means that we're here and we're alive. So please, God, please, for all of our sakes, let's remember that the work matters, and that's why it will last far beyond us. We won't get it right, but we'll continue to fail forward. And please, God, the next generation will too, but fail a little bit less and probably a little bit differently until we stop failing, at which point the promise will be fulfilled. May that day come sooner than we expect. This is a complicated time, and it's easy to imagine that the work is too much, because it is. But every small thing that we do that brings us one step closer to promise is a gift to ourselves and to the future. And wherever we end up, when it is our time, may it be a long time from now. How precious to have a vision through Moshe's eyes of what might be beyond me. Because among the things that we should take from this text is he doesn't stop leading after this moment. This is just chapter 3. Because right after this, in chapter 4, it starts with the word VaEtchanan. And now? Give heed to the laws and rules, he says, that I'm instructing you, so that you will live to enter and occupy the land that God, the God of your ancestors, is giving you. He says, it's bigger than me, so let me guide you right. What a gift, friends. What a gift. This stuff matters. It matters more than any of us. And it matters more than all of us who are alive today. It matters because the totality of our people's history, including its beautiful, eternal future, it lives beyond us because it's beautiful. And we give our hearts and souls and might, as this Parsha tells us, to making sure that it is strong right now, because that's our job. So thank you for giving everything you've got to bring this world as close to its next step as you and I and we will be able to do. So, let's send our hearts to the east. Let's do our work spiritually, physically, politically, to bring them home. That would be enough, wouldn't it? That would be enough for our lifetimes to bring them home now. It would. Let's do that. Let's sing our hearts out for our beloveds, that they should be home now. Kol hod balevav pnima נפש יהודי הומייה, ולפתי מזרח קדימה, עין לציון צופיה. עוד לא עבדה תקוותנו, התקווה בת שנות 2000, להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. Bring them home now. Am Yisrael Chai. See you tomorrow, my friends.